Ellen McCauley of Parade Off in Syracuse, New York. And you know what, everyone? It gives me such a thrill, such a joy to come up with a topic that I've never done before. I get a great deal of joy from it. And you know what I've never done a topic on? Silence. Ever. And you might say, silence, Ellen? What does that have to do with weight? What does that have to do with Pray It Off? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight because we live in a world that is a cacophony of noise, sound, people talking. You can't even go see a concert without people talking, phones, TV. How many times do you go to somebody's house and the TV is on and they're not even watching it for the noise? You know, I'm reading a book called There. It's a book that was recommended by a national book club. Anyone else read it? There. I knew you would, Linda. Anyway, it's so powerful. And just last night, I saw a quote in it. And the reason we're so hectically busy and so surround ourselves with the phone, with Facebook, with noise, is we don't really want to face our problems, our issues, the things going on in our lives. And what the guy who wrote There said, it's about disappearing in the whir, how do you say it, W-H-I-R, whir of noise and doing. You're just disappearing into all this noise, all this doing, and not facing the issues that you're dealing with. And now, quiet power. The writer of the book of James commands us to be slow to speak and bridle our tongues. Let me tell you, giving up gossiping and complaining for Lent sounds so benign, doesn't it? You gave up what? Gossiping and complaining? I can barely talk at times. I'm just like, I guess that's gossip. I can't say anything. I guess that's complaining. I can't say anything. I have really thought so much about bridling my tongue, more than I ever have in my entire life. Because how many times have you hurt someone by saying something? How many times have you been hurt by people saying something to you? And not only that, there's the people who do so much talking about all the things they're going to do and then they never do it. Oh, I've been Pray It Off. Yeah, I'm going to lose a lot of weight. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing that, but I am going to. I'm going to lose a lot of weight. They're talkers and not doers. Many Christians aren't producing either. They have all this noise, but then they're judging people. They're not really being a good Christian. And then this author here, and I got it from one of the inspirational sites, says, let's begin by having 5 minutes of silence a day. You know, that's easier to achieve than you might think, because I drive from Onondaga Hill downtown every day. It's around 12 minutes when it's beautiful. It's around 2 hours when it's bad. But it's around a half hour if it's really bad. But I can be silent then. I don't have to have the radio on. Anyone ever do this? Somebody says, I'll drive to Drumlin's for the meeting. So we get in the front seat, and I get in the passenger side. She's driving. The car turns on, and the radio goes, boom, blasting. So I'm thinking, any second now, she's going to turn the radio off, because she probably had it on when we weren't in the car together. And then she just starts talking louder, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to leave the radio that loud while we're in the car together? People don't even hear it anymore. They don't hear the radios, they don't hear the TV. You know, even when I was at the hospital with Shannon, I would see people just every room in the hospitals, TV, go to a nursing home, TV. Now, I know in many cases it's company, but if you're reading, do you need the TV on? I just find that so interesting. So try to find 5 minutes a day just to be silent. Do you notice I'm not even saying pray? Just be silent. And that is challenging. And another reason why I wanted to talk about silence is because I feel like I can't shut my brain off. I don't know about you guys. Even someone tonight said, Ellen, I have trouble dealing with my anxiety. And isn't anxiety just your brain not shutting up? Does anyone think that's a good definition of anxiety? Yeah. Your brain doesn't shut up. You're like, what about this? What about that? What if I get the coronavirus? What if I get on, what if I shake someone's hand and they have it? Your brain is just making you anxious. This next article talks about going to church, and there was a whole sermon on silence, and the priest asked for a moment of silence, and she had like an autistic kid, and she was so afraid the autistic kid would blurt out or scream out. And the kid actually loved it, loved the silence, because there's too much distraction in so many minds. And did you ever notice, now if there's a deacon and then they do the intercessions and then they say, and now please pray in your hearts. I can't remember the exact words. The last one is, take a moment of silence and pray for anything in your heart. Do you ever notice some people are like, take a moment and please pray for the intentions of your heart. Thanks be to God. It's like 1 second. And then other people, it's like the Jeopardy theme's playing, and you're like, are they ever going to stop that moment of silence? It's like so long. Even tonight, I didn't want to be irreverent with Mary because we had the moment of silence. I was going to have it go on longer than the comfort zone, but I didn't want to be irreverent on that topic. But did you ever notice we can only take so much silence? Even in church, we go in. There's not a lot of silence, even in church. Certainly not in the beginning. Oh my gosh, we go to 7:30 Mass, and we used to sit towards the back, but then Blabbing Barbara, I don't even know what her name is, but we call her Blabbing Barbara, and she's just like, ba 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 ba. And then even when the priest is coming down the aisle, she's like, oh, we got a deacon today. Oh, who's that deacon? I'm like, and then you think, well, maybe she's handicapped. See, that's a McCauley thing. Whenever someone's acting so irreverently, you think, well, maybe there's something wrong. No, she's talking to everyone around her, so we had to move away from Blabbing Barbara. Wouldn't it be funny if her name really was Barbara? But anyway, even in church, people are not quiet. And do you ever notice sometimes people get communion and then they go back to their seat and they're blabbing? Isn't that the time where you're supposed to be really talking to Jesus? I hope I'm not sounding judgmental here. I'm just mentioning that things aren't very quiet even in church. I'm going to stop right there, Bob.